Welcome back to another NCUT movie review, and today we have Bring Her Back. I have a better idea. Let's not bring her back.
Facts.
Grapefruit.
And straight off the bat, we were so excited coming into this movie because obviously Raka, the Filippo brothers, are the directors of this film. They return after their previous film, Talk to Me, which was a hit around the world and also in Australia. And now they're back with Bring Her Back. And to preface what we said in the opening with Grapefruit, that is actually a common phrase said in the movie where the brother and the sister have a safety word because she's blind. And so when she doesn't want her brother lying, when she wants her brother telling the truth about something, they say the word grapefruit.
And my safe word's mayonnaise.
What did he say?
If you're in horror movie universe, don't go to foster parents. I mean, it just never goes well for anybody. So obviously this foster parent who actually does not give one shit about Andy, who's the brother of the main character in this movie. I mean, to the point where Piper walks in, who is the visually impaired sister of Andy, and she walks in and she's like, the foster mum is like, I love you so much. And Andy's just like, hey, what's going on? And she's like,
Billy.
Bill, can you go away, please? Like, I don't really care about you. He's like, my name's Andrew, so thanks for just completely ignoring my name. But the unease that you feel immediately once Sally Hawkins is introduced in this movie is unbelievable. And it just continues throughout the movie where she just builds this unnerving feeling around her character, around her true intentions, all the way to the end. And that's a testimony to her and her acting because, I mean, from the get-go, you're like, I don't trust this bitch. And then towards the end, you're like, I hope you die in a fiery pit.
100%. And one thing that you can really judge if she's a good actress, how much you hate them.
Agreed.
If you hate them with your whole heart, which we did in this whole movie, she gaslit the shit out of Andy.
So bad.
And
Poor
there
guy.
was so many scenarios. You actually feel sorry for the kid.
Yeah, facts.
Like, because of how shunned he was. And his whole life he's been shunned.
Yeah.
Even by his own father.
Yeah.
And this was like a massive preface in the movie. The trauma kind of slowly builds up. And you see the trauma from her character. You see the trauma from Andy. You see the trauma through Piper's character. All of them have trauma. And all of them are building up. And the Filippo brothers are really good at slowly building this up like a mystery/thriller kind of movie. It's not really that horrifying, if actually I'm being honest. The movie didn't really have jump scares or anything.
A few here and there,
Yeah,
but I mean,
it wasn't crazy.
The Filippo brothers aren't trying to do jump scary type horror where, you know, like we've seen so many times before. They're building horror through uneasiness. They're building horror through anticipation of like, what is Laura's real intention? Can Andy somehow communicate what he's trying to feel and what he's seeing and what he's feeling coming from Laura without seeming like he's some delusional little kid who has just lost his father and is dealing with grief. And that's how they build that horror, where rather than just like the typical jump scares that you get from The Conjurings, from Insidious, from you name it.
The way that this movie was filmed was way scarier in its own depiction, through the cinematography, through the music, through the panning shots. Why the hell was half of the movie blurry? Everything was a slow blur right into your face, and then you could see what's happening after that. That didn't really make any sense to me. A lot of it wasn't explained, and I wish that they did explain most of it, because I have questions and I want them answered. And
that was a big takeaway I thought from the movie as well, where the movie was great and it was really well done. I just thought I have questions, and they could have delved a lot deeper into the lore of certain things. The circles. Why did they stop them from being able to leave?
Yeah, where the circle idea come from? Was it supposed to be like a pentagram but taking away the actual points? Was it just a circle? Or like, what is it? The circle of life? I don't understand. I have questions and I don't understand. And poor Ollie is just going through it this entire movie.
Bad.
As soon as you're introduced to his character, you know something's up. He's acting weird. One scene I will spoil, he grabs the cat and he goes right out to the pool and starts some weird shit with the cat, and the cat fights its way out.
You just know, if animals are getting hurt, run.
Yeah, run.
Psychology 101.
Yeah, literally. Everyone knows a murderer when they see one. And this kid was looking completely fucked up, and we don't know why. And then the movie slowly explains why. And then it explains why Sally's clandestine. It's really, really weird, this movie's built up. But does it intrigue you, and is it worth going to see? I think it does intrigue the shit out of you if you've watched the trailers. If you haven't watched it, even better. You will be surprised. And you will be confused as shit, like I was at least. And then, yes, I think it is worth you going to see at the cinema, because you need that audio, you need the experience, right? Like at home, if you have all of that, 100% wait for it. But you definitely 100% need to go see this at the cinema. It's a great film. They deserve it, and especially because they're Australian. We're also shouting them out. They haven't paid us though.
I think one of the things as well with this movie, like Josh mentioned, touch on there, if you haven't seen the trailer, you will still be intrigued by this movie. But I think this trailer for this movie was so well done. When we were watching another movie in the previous four, Bring Her Back came on, you were immediately drawn in, like, I want to watch this movie. Like, that was the first visceral reaction, was like, I want to watch this. Because in the trailer for this movie, and also in the movie when it was playing, was the clicking noise that Oliver made, the clicking noise that sort of signified something crazy or something bad was about to happen. I think those are such underrated little things that when they happen can really bring up the quality of a movie. I mean, one of the movies that we talked about lots last year, and actually we gave it the best movie of the year, Longlegs, used that to its advantage to perfection, where there wasn't super jump scary scenes, but the sound effects that they were using off screen or even on the screen slowly building up was like, oh shit, something's about to happen. Like Nicolas Cage is about to come on screen. I don't want to see that face ever again. So I think that's one thing that Filippo brothers do really well.
Yeah, they must have taken some type of like thing from Longlegs, because if you watch Longlegs and go back and see it, you'll notice that there was one random scene where like someone will walk by the camera and then the camera will like pan into the middle of like a row of books and you'll see like the demon at the back of it.
Yeah.
That's what the Filippo brothers do. There's a lot of the time in random scenes, Ollie's just standing in the background like this.
Yeah.
He's just waiting for something to happen. So you know this kid is up to something. You just don't know what.
You hear him like banging on the door and things like that. I think that's also a testimony to Jonah Red Phillips, whose acting in this movie was just so good, because he just set you so on edge when you looked at him and you saw him on the screen. Not to mention, I mean, he slowly built into becoming like a big fucking blubbery mess. So
yeah, like literally, that's actually quite accurate of what he is. He's literally a bubble gut.
Yeah, bubble gut.
And I think also Sora Wong, first time acting, she just got randomly thrown in here. Like apparently her mum found the ad on Facebook.
Yeah, love that.
Dude, incredible acting from her. I know she's visually impaired, but this is what they exactly needed. Someone to have this ailment. And then her to portray, you wouldn't even know that she's literally the first time acting on screen.
Yeah.
She had no stunt double. She did all the stunts herself. So, you know, shout out to her. Like, seriously, she really made the movie, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and there's a specific scene in this movie where when you watch it, and let us know in the comments if you know what scene we're talking about, where something happens to her and you're just like, that was the most jarring scene ever. And it comes from nowhere.
Yeah.
And from a character that you would not expect it to happen to her.
There's one other thing I would like to mention just before I think we wrap this up. The prosthetic department, whatever they do, they need to be on every horror film. Every time you see a scene in here that's going a little bit haywire, everything comes together at the very end of the scene. It's just crazy. What Jonah does with a knife, what they do with Jonah's prosthetics, and the very end scene where Sally gets into a bit of a mindset, let's say, and something happens. I don't want to spoil it too much, but how it looked was just flawless. Honestly, it was flawless. It looked really, really good. Yeah, definitely go see it. I really recommend it. I would say probably, high 70%, in my book. It's really, really good movie to go see.
Yeah, and the only thing like in tailoring off that takes me out of the movie, and this is always going to happen, it just is what it is. Yeah. But I just can't see a Holden Commodore in a movie and go like, this is a scary. Like I saw the Holden Commodore pull up and I go, I used to drive that car 7 years ago. Yeah. I'm no longer scared anymore. You know what I mean? Like when you're watching an American horror film or a British horror film, whatever, and you're seeing things that don't look familiar to you or you don't see every single day in your life, you're like, it builds up more of like, I'm in a different world. This could possibly be real. But then when I see a Holden Commodore or something in the background, or I just see Australian products, I'm just like, oh, this is fake, because like this just can't be real. So that's the only thing where I love the Filippo brothers, but come on, just get rid of the Australian cars.
What you didn't know as well, Geordie actually donated his car for this movie as well. So he's getting royalties off this. This is why we're promoting it so highly.
Yeah.
That's a joke, by the way, anyone who's listening. Anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the review. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go watch our other stuff if you are interested in our reviews, because there is a massive catalogue that we're going to go.
Huge.
Yeah, see, so.
Huge.
Look it up. Anyway, guys, been another NCUT movie review. Peace, we out. NCUT. Also, do you like the new setup? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Get the fuck out of here. GG's.
Yes, sir.